They made Rosalina a battle junkie. Why? Why? I don't understand. I don't understand why they do this. So I just watched the new Super Mario Galaxy movie, and I'm really worried because I love Rosalina. She's one of my favorite characters in one of my favorite games ever, which is Super Mario Galaxy. One of the most well-crafted video games I think ever created. And I just saw the new trailer, and let's walk through it. So let's start from the beginning. So it starts off with this sequence with Bowser kind of doing a dramatic painting sequence. And he's really good. Like they play this for a joke, but he's very good. Let's take a look at this. So Bowser's apparently gone through a lot of hobbies.
What's up, Mario? Behold, I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you?
So he shows us this image that he's painted, and he's gotten really good. I guess he's had a lot of time to himself. And they play this for laughs, and then he has like a little like back and forth with Luigi, which I actually think is really charming and kind of heartwarming for Bowser. But look at this brushwork; it's actually really good. So it's kind of this impressionistic styling. He's super jacked. Princess Peach likes him. Like, I know this is played for jokes, but he would have a really amazing career in the arts if he wanted to pursue that. I saw this, and I'm learning to paint. I'm learning the visual arts more and more as I get into understanding the film and art and video games and things like that. And I have this guy is better than I'll ever be.
Love the colors. It's trash.
And Luigi is super supportive, and I'm already unsympathetic towards my main character and the hero of the story, Mario, who's a total jerk and very unsupportive. Yeah, why would he say that? He's just making a worse enemy of Bowser instead of encouraging him down a really healthy way to express himself. It's very unfortunate. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We see the blue comet. All right, this is the main part I want to get to. Rosalina, she's there. Yes.
Princess Rosalina.
Oh, she's gonna be kidnapped or something, or she's pulling out the wand. Oh. Oh. She's Captain Marvel. Something I am not a big fan of in media and entertainment right now is this constant use of turning characters that have usually completely different functions in their narrative, like being well, I'll get to that later, but they turn everybody into battle junkies, especially these princesses. They serve entirely different functions in the narrative, and in these movies, like Princess Peach gets turned into like a martial artist expert who like knows judo and knows how to like throw people and all this stuff. And I'm not a big fan of that. And it's not that it's the end of the world to make a character or girl like that. I can think of so many great shows that have those characters. But the main reason I don't like this is because I'm afraid in pursuing that path, you're going to lose what makes Rosalina really special, which is her tragic melancholy, the fact that she plays this archetypal mother role to all these celestial lumas and these creatures across the cosmos, because she herself was also a tragic lost child, an orphan, essentially, kind of. I'll get to that. But what makes her really special, I think, could be lost in the pursuit of like TikTok brain rot jokes every couple of seconds where you have to be funny all the time. This other trailer does that. Let me see if I can find it.
There was a brave.
It's right here.
Once upon a time, there was a brave and noble princess named Peach.
I want to hear the story.
How does she know that?
We did that one last night. Okay.
Maybe that's going to be a narrative device. Rosalina's storybook time is probably the most emotionally compelling sequence in all of the Mario series, and I'm not even kidding. So Why can't we have just sweet melancholy anymore? Why can't we have just a tragic simplicity to our characters? I don't understand why it has to be this way. Okay, so jumping into how I understand Rosalina. So we first meet Rosalina. This is footage from the game. When you first meet Rosalina after Mario has been basically sent into a devastating situation. He's lost everything because Princess Peach has been kidnapped and he's been flown into space. And he meets Rosalina, who literally appears as like an angel of light. She is this incredibly shining, beautiful person, and immediately gives him the Luma in order to get around the cosmos. What she's doing is, if you study things like the hero's journey or Joseph Campbell or mythological analysis, a big thing of what she's doing is she's acting the role as the mentor, like Merlin or like these different figures in main characters' journeys, like for example Obi-Wan for Luke in Star Wars, where these characters come in and they basically act as a guiding role. They give them, the main characters, some tool or magical assistance in order to attain their goal, and they have to move from the ordinary world, whatever it is, the world they start from. For Mario, that would be the Mushroom Kingdom, into the special world. And for Mario, that would be the space, flying around in this magical cosmic world. And Rosalina acts as a bridge into that. And throughout the story, as we're introduced to her, she teaches us things. She teaches Mario all the things he needs to know. She explains how it's the Comet Observatory is her home. And most importantly, she sets up the stakes alongside Mario. Not only is Mario hurt and his hometown destroyed in some sense and Peach taken, but also her situation has been destroyed and hurt. She no longer has power. She can't move the Comet Observatory. She can't take care of all these beings. The stakes are pretty high. Not only is Mario's world at stake, but also Rosalina's. And so she's invested in Mario, helping her and helping Mario in order to take care of them, the problem, which is Bowser. This is a mistake the first movie made. The Super Mario Galaxy movie introduces Princess Peach as essentially Mario, but way better. Like, there's absolutely no need for Mario. In fact, Mario is basically dead weight for most of the movie. And when he encounters her, she actually trains him for like no reason. It's never really stated why she like takes to him or wants to help him in any way. Honestly, he's basically an obstacle, and she could have gone on her own and been completely fine. It is a devastating thing to do that to your script, to your story, because it de-emphasizes the stakes. If the main character, if the hero is not the most active agent or person in the narrative, it is going to be a weaker script, because the context is going to be like, why are we even following the narrative of our main character if he has no essential thematic purpose to play an active place in the script. And it's okay for other characters to play significant roles. You see this especially in movies or stories with large ensemble casts, where maybe everybody has different skills and the main character might even be the weakest one, but usually he has some redeeming feature that nobody else has, and nobody else can really demonstrate or use, that plays a key role in the story, especially at the crisis or the point of highest tension. And I'll get to that in a moment. But we meet Rosalina, and she's introducing all these concepts to us. She teaches us where to go, and she basically gives us the means to go on the journey. And then, so this whole time she's like this magical girl, but she's not incredibly impressive because she's also been weakened alongside you with, the loss of your home. But then when she gets it back, and you give her all the magic stars, you're like, oh, she's sending a little glowing dot into the sky. What's that all about? What's this going to be? This absolutely insane anime moment with the music, with the strings, and she destroys these hundreds of ships that are like huge obstacles to you previously, a demonstration of her cosmic power. Imagining this happening in real life is pretty insane. But you notice once again, what's happening here? You see the formation of this bridge into the final sequence. You would probably refer to this as going into the inmost cave, or to the dragon's cave. So beforehand, when he worked with Rosalina, that was sort of preparation into that cave. And now he's going into it to fight literally the dragon of the series, which is Bowser, who's basically a dragon. Mario and Bowser are essentially a heroes and dragon mythic hero structure. And so this is such a wonderful moment to show that as he's diving into essentially the cave of the beast with the help of Rosalina, who's acting as a bridge, just like she was into the special world originally. This often happens with mentor-like figures. They show up, like think of Moana, for example, like Moana's grandmother shows up to help her find her way into the ocean, which is where she wants to go, and then she returns right before she attacks the final boss, essentially, of the narrative, in order to help her remember what the main thematic idea of the text is, or what it is that she had to learn, or what she had to seize in some sense in order to confront that. It's called seizing the sword in mythic analysis. Rosalina has a very important role to play, but she is not the hero. She's not the combat expert. She has incredible power, but she needs Mario's help in order to play that role in that narrative. It's a wonderful symbiotic structure. Then once you beat the game, we see Rosalina return, and look at her. She's huge. She's massive. Why? Because she's larger than life. She's talking about these galaxies being reborn, how she plays the role as the mothers of these Lumas. And there's and Mario's so tiny, like he's a little fetus. And basically, she is elevated to this, like, archetypal, psychologically elevated role of a mother of the universe and even of Mario's world in some sense. Once the ending happens, this is the, I think, epilogue. We see Rosalina observing the world around her, observing the earth, with beautiful music. Oh, a waltz time, beautiful piano piece. It is just one of my favorite pieces ever. She thanks Mario because he saved her. His act of going through his journey redeemed not only his world, but also the world of Rosalina, allowing her to continue her job as a celestial parent, essentially. Look at the heels and the dress. She's just elegant, graceful, beautiful, homely, warm, comforting. She's associated with nature and flowers and a garden-like effect. Just look at this sequence. Look at how gorgeous this is. And she sails off. Her power is not this like weird combat-driven jujitsu. It's to facilitate or organize this, or maybe not organize, but to allow for travel between worlds. It's a totally different kind of power. Just watching those sequences, it already gets me so excited about her as a character, about how cool and special she is in the world of Mario. And I don't know that the script writers will allow for moments that really highlight this nature of Rosalina. I really hope they do, because you have to slow down. You have to focus. You have to take the narrative to a melancholic place, which is very difficult for modern Hollywood and screenwriters and Illumination and anything branded towards children is going to have a hard time doing that. And it would just be so devastating if it didn't. Let's go through Rosalina's story. So that when we first meet Rosalina, she is this girl, through her storybook series, encounters a Luma. It's sort of her own hero's journey in some sense. She's in her ordinary world, much like Mario was, and she meets this Luma It's looking for its mama. And so she goes, well, I'll help you. And so she just leaves the planet, which is very fairy tale like and very strange. But she does it. And she finds star bits and she starts eating star bits because she doesn't have food. And maybe that plays a role into how like she's immortal and can live for hundreds of years. She finds a comet. She lives on it. She builds a home with the Luma. But then she starts remembering her own family back home, and she sees her own mother who encourages her, who's like, hey, I'll always be there for you. I'll always watch over you. And we see that she looks just like Celestina. Sorry, not Celestina, Rosalina. And you see this incredible overlap with the symbolism of stars and how people in our memories are kind of like the stars watching over us. These Lumas who are like little children who want to become stars. All of this imagery is starting to come together. Rosalina builds a little home. Then a bunch of stars show up calling her mama again because she's the mama of these little orphan stars. And then I want to get to my favorite part. Let me just read it out to you. She sees her home in a telescope again. She says, she twisted the knob of the telescope and the blue dot grew until she could make out a grassy hill dotted. Zooming even closer, a terrace on the hill came into view. I used to go stargazing there when I lived on my home planet. She remembered rubbing the sleep out of her eyes as she followed her father up that hill to look at the stars. She remembered how she and her brother would sled down that hill. She remembered having picnics with her mother on that hill on bright and windy days. And I want to go home. I want to go home right now. The girl burst into tears and the Lumas didn't know what to do. I want to go home. I want to go back to my house by the hill. I want to see my mother. The girl was shouting now, her face wet with tears. But I know she's not there. I knew all along that she wasn't out there in the sky because she's sleeping under the tree on the hill. The girl's cries echoed through the stars, and a hush fell over the area. When I first read that, when I first watched this story, that was such a gut punch. Just a bullet through the heart. No, I don't know how old I was. 13-year-old Holden's eyes. There's not a dry eye in the room. I was shedding tears. Woo! In a world like Mario where death means nothing because you always come back, you always have another life. It was so interesting and so fascinating as a kid to watch this narrative unfold about death in the Mario universe. And it was first unfolded really through this character. And she basically becomes the mother of these stars officially. And she looks back on Earth fondly. She wants to come back to it, visit every 100 years. And that's actually what the Star Festival is that we saw in the trailer earlier. All the stars falling is whenever Rosalina comes back home. So she's maybe thousands of years old. Maybe she's been around for who knows how long. The end. Then we see Rosalina.
That's all.
That's all. My story is finished. Mom! Mario's in the corner. Mamma mia! Mario's in the corner just weeping. That's a very sad. And so with that narrative, you see so much of Rosalina's backstory play a role into why she does what she does, who she is as a person. Who she is, in my personal opinion, is I don't think she's a combat expert. I don't think she's a jiu-jitsu specialist or something. I think she's a mother. She's a young mother who lost her own mother, her own mother is now underneath the tree, and she was looking for her, along with Luma looking for her mother, and so she went on a journey and probably lost her father and her brother that she mentions as well. She's a tragic figure that found hope, that embodies hope, that embodies this maternal love that transcends these... It transcends the video game that was used to transmit that idea. It's way bigger than Super Mario Galaxy. She's this connection to all of Mother. She's this embodiment, this archetypal representation of it. I don't think she's like an ironic, smirky Captain Marvel character. I don't like that. I don't think that's true of her. I think she's awesome and so cool and epic in her own way. And I think her magical abilities are so wonderfully used later in the narrative when they kind of combine with the building blocks of what Mario's journey is, since we see the world through his eyes and he's the main character. And I love her melancholy. I love her sweetness. I love her determination to be that, to sacrifice herself to give all of these Lumas and these creatures the things that she never had. Well, or the thing that she had but then lost, that she didn't have anymore, which was a mother. And so she chose to persevere and to go through difficult things for that reason. She's a model of self-sacrifice, of heroism, and of maternal grace. I love that about Rosalina, and I really hope, and I hope I'm wrong about the movie trailer and they're just showing the flashy bits. I really hope they try to capture some of that, because Rosalina is special to me, and I just hope that whoever made this movie, she's special too. And I hope they don't lose track of what makes her special. Or what they could do is go boom, smirk. Yeah, girl boss. That's who am I kidding? That's probably what they're gonna do. Okay, that's it. Bye.